Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to start today's video by asking you all a question. Are Trump's tariff policies something which will work, or are they simply bound to fail? Well, this user on Reddit seems to think that Trump's policies will absolutely crash and burn, stating that Trump's tariff policy is fundamentally flawed, and here's why. Number one, if tariffs are a good thing, then there's no real need to justify them with reciprocity, i.e., we need to do it only because they're doing it. You cannot blame others for having tariffs, which you claim are a wonderful economic principle. Plus, if others reduce their tariff to 0% and you do the same, then all rationale for justifying it went out of the window. That is, you're okay with a scenario of no tariff to bring manufacturing back and no tariff revenue to replace income tax. I think what this user is suggesting is that it doesn't really make sense. And other users in the comment section certainly do agree, suggesting that these are not reciprocal tariffs. He just had a percentage on the board of what countries are charging us. The percentage is just the trade deficit, the amount of money bought and sold from them and the things that they buy from the US. Trade deficits are not necessarily a bad thing. The entire debate basically does not make much sense. Anyway, with that being said, we are seeing a massive rise in tariffs, apparently, on China with massive numbers, right? Up to 100+% we are seeing. However, it looks like Trump is somewhat backtracking on an element of this policy, as cell phones, chips, and laptops get a reprieve from these tariffs. So this is really quite interesting. Bear in mind that China struck back on Trump ballooning tariff rates on imports of US goods to 125% from 84%. The countermeasures will come into effect on Saturday, I should say. But at the same time, what we are now seeing from the US is essentially devices like phones are going to be exempted. And the latest on this is that exempted electronic products come under separate tariffs. So the US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said on Sunday in an interview with ABC's This Week that smartphones, computers and other electronic devices will come under separate tariffs along with semiconductors that may be imposed in a month or so. You know, especially with the pause that we're seeing in international tariffs against a lot of other countries, a massively reduced rate, the question is, what does Trump actually wish to receive here? You know, people are suggesting that it is the art of the deal, the policy that he has. You know, you need to essentially risk it all in a way. But look at the numbers here and think about the reality of this. Is this even possible? We're looking at a situation where in the next 90 or so days, hundreds, potentially over 100 trade deals must be met or struck. And that's just for things to go back to normal. The markets do not like this, and again, perhaps at the very least, even 90 deals. A lot of experts say there's very little luck of this happening, and again, if you almost double that figure to 150, is this realistic? Is this going to have any impact? And is Trump going to actually achieve and obtain any of the goals and aims that he set out for? It's really hard to say, guys. It's not looking good though. Markets have been crashing in the last couple of weeks. It really is an uncertain time for investors and a lot of people who are interested in the latest news. It's really interesting to see how this is going to unfold with China. You know, as the retaliation continues, we are seeing massive tariffs from the US, then massive from China. Where does this go? What is the latest? And is a trade deal between any of these countries ever successfully going to get struck? Let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you, and I hope I'll see you soon. Goodbye.